This is why you need to quit music production. So I've been making beats for about 10 years now. I started in 2013, 2014. Actually, thinking about it, it might be a little bit more than 10 years, but I've been making beats for a while. At first I was really making beats just for fun. I was chilling with my boys. One of my boys rapped. We are like, yo, we need to make a fucking beat over this shit. Like just experimenting with everything. When I really got into it, I was really into like Space Ghost Perp and like ASAP Rocky. If anyone remembers that was that shit back in the day. Like what ASAP Rocky was doing, that was a big influence to me. So I was just making beats for fun. I would say for about like 2 to 3 years. But then I started seeing people selling beats online. I'm like, wait, you can make, like when I started, I knew that you could make money off of it, but that wasn't the main reason why I wanted to start making beats. And I seen a lot of people selling beats online. This was shit. This might have been back in the SoundClick days, or is it SoundClick? Yeah, whatever it's called, the beat selling platform. And I think Airbit was pretty big too. I think if anyone's a music producer, I think BeatStars wasn't really popping until like maybe a couple years later, like or around that time, like 2015, 2016. I think that's when it really started becoming popular. Thinking about it, I think I used Track Train. If there's any producers out there, damn, I think people still use that. But yeah, I was using Track Train. I remember putting my beat or a couple beats on there or whatever, and I remember selling it. I think it was to a guy locally, and I just remember getting that. I don't know, it was like $25. I was like, oh shit, like you can actually make money off this. And I think from there I was really not taking it as serious, but I was just like, okay, like I'm working this job. I think I was working at like a grocery store or some shit. I can't remember, or kitchen job. And I was just like, okay, like I can work this job, make some side money. I was chilling. I was working there for a little bit, and I actually got a better job at a call center, which paid pretty good at the time. I think this was around 2017. It paid really good. At this time, I was really starting to like upload beats online and starting to take it a little bit more serious. My branding was I was using BeatStars, so I was using the pro page and all that shit, like making sure my branding was on point. And I was working that call center job, and I just remember like it was the easiest job I've ever had, but the people that worked there were just fucking miserable, and I just kind of I didn't like it. That was one thing I didn't like about it. Like the people, everyone there, like was just fucking miserable. It was just not really fun to fucking go into work, and everyone's just not liking their life, not liking their job. And I kind of understand it now. Like that environment can just make people negative. And the job itself was super easy. I was just pretty much resetting passwords, and if I couldn't fix it, I would bump it up to tier 2. And I just started really hating that job. And at the time I was selling beats, but definitely not enough to like make a living off of it. I would probably make, I don't know. I was doing pretty good, maybe like $500 a month, which is pretty good. Like, I don't know, in my eyes, that's pretty good for selling beats online. I know people can make thousands of dollars a month, but I decided to quit my job. You know, I, I just remember that time I was like, I'm still living with my girlfriend, but I just remember waking up one day. I was like, I'm not going back into work. Like, I'm going to try making a living from selling beats and like being a music producer and all that shit. She was very supportive. She knew like I was very motivated to try to make a living selling beats and really trying to make a career out of music production. And after I quit my job, I really ramped up. I started doing live streams, I was doing like one-on-ones with artists, like making custom beats with them, selling beats online. And I remember actually joining this mentorship program where this guy, I'm not going to even say his name, because thinking about it now, I definitely should have done it. But yeah, I joined this mentorship program, and honestly, I kind of take that back. He taught me not specifically how to sell beats like on YouTube, but like really keeping track on like how to hit people back. If making a spreadsheet, who bought your beats, who's interested, who do you got to hit back, and from that, I'm not gonna lie. Actually, I take all that shit back. I almost kind of want to talk shit about him, but no, he taught me a lot to be like organized. And I actually made, I think the highest month was 3,000 or like $3,500, maybe even more. I can't remember. I just remember like I hit 1 month and I was like, dude, this is okay. I can really start doing it. From there, I was really doing the same thing. The next month, I was again writing people's names down and doing all that shit, but it just went down. And I just remember, like, I was just like, fuck, okay, maybe that was just like a fluke. And I remember the next month, it went even more down. I was just like, okay, like, what the fuck's going on? Pretty much doing the same shit, writing people's names down. Who do I have to hit up? And at that point, I was just like, bro, like, I just feel like I'm chasing people for money. And, that just made me think, like, okay, like, this shit doesn't seem very stable. I have to, like, chase people down. I feel like I just didn't feel good about it. And I don't like trying to sell people on shit. I just, I think with selling beats online, you kind of do have to have that sales type of mentality, unless like you're just uploading beats on YouTube, and that's the dream for every producer. They could just upload type beats, it gets a bunch of plays and it sells, like that's that's every producer's dream. But I think in reality, like, that can happen, but it takes so long. But the percentage and possibility of that actually happening is pretty slim. I'm gonna be honest. Like, I feel like for as many producers, I know what, like, I think people just give up really early too, and they don't even get to that point. But I don't know. I still think it's you might have a good month or a good couple months, but it will go down. And I think that's the biggest thing for me why I kind of stopped selling beats online and really stopped pursuing, being a YouTuber and stuff. I mean, right now, okay, so like right now I work at IT job. I've been doing it for about a year and a half now, and I actually really like it. Like, I think it translates into, if you're on the computer all the time making beats, for me, like, it was like, okay, something's not working in Ableton. I gotta figure it out. Or something's not working with this music or with this video editing program. Like, I'm gonna look it up. And I think it kind of translates to IT because that's all it is. You're just troubleshooting shit. You're figuring out how to put shit together, and if it doesn't work, you're just researching. And I think with doing music production for, like I said, 10 years, it translates into the IT work. And honestly, if you're a music producer and you're kind of on the fence, like, like, I'm thinking about quitting, not even like quitting trying to sell beats, and you want to look for an actual job, I very like you should definitely look into IT because I think you'll like it, especially if you're kind of nerdy and shit. Like, I think you'll like it. Kind of going back and to wrap this up, I've been kind of rambling, but even like the good times and bad times with selling beats online and trying to be a music producer, I think, the biggest thing for me was my mental health. It was just going down fucking hill. And honestly, two things. I think it was really going downhill because one, I wasn't really making any money. And then two, you're, at least for me, I wasn't really going to a lot of studios. I was really isolating myself, like, from friends, family, damn near even my girlfriend. Like, I was like always downstairs in the basement, like making beats, being happy. A lot of days just fucking sad and just like staring into the fucking wall, like thinking about like, yo, how the fuck am I gonna do this? And I think that how unstable you are trying to pursue a music career, like, it can really fuck with your head. like even if you like, you know, for me, I like to eat right and make sure I'm exercising, doing all that shit. I really think it's just it doesn't really help that much being a music producer because like again, a lot of it financially, like you're just worrying about, yo, where's this next check coming and all that shit, you know. So now I kind of just make beats for fun, you know. Like I have been trying to do a type beat channel, but again, like it the men the mental part about it, it always fucks with me, and I think at this point I just want to just focus on life itself and my IT career, but yeah, I think that's why you should just quit music production and just get a real fucking job, you know. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts down below. And yeah, that's all. I'm out. Peace.